Hello my friends, today we will be taking these 3 photos here on the screen. These are photos of this lip balm over here, and while we take these 3 photos, I just want to talk to you a little bit about composition and product photography, props, and maybe a few lighting tips. So let's get right into it. Now I already have my set up. Let me just show you a little bit of behind the scenes what I got going on in here. I have my camera. It is connected via tethered to Capture One onto my computer. Then I have a table with a white glossy surface. I have my AD300 here with a softbox with a grid because I do not want the light to spill into the background. In the back I have my background. It's a red Savage paper, as you can see over here, and it's lit by an AD200 bare bulb. Onto the other side I have Savage diffusing material, and I have a small strip box with a speed light on it. So that is pretty much the setup. Now, when it comes to backgrounds, it's best to pick the same color as your brand, something that is in your brand, one of those colors. This red, it just so happened to match perfectly with this. But if you don't have something that match perfectly, then you can go with something that is very, very similar, and then in Photoshop, adjust that color to match perfectly. If you don't have anything that is similar or exact, then you would want to go completely the opposite with a complementary color. So if you're working with a brand that has yellows on the label, then go with something blue and so on. Now, when it comes to props and product photography, it's absolute necessity to have props. I would go for something simple, something neutral. In today's tutorial, I'll be using these props. These are wooden props from Mad Props from UK. They are solid wood, and they will last you a lifetime. Do not buy those foam, shapes and stuff, because those are just not good. They're absolute garbage. I have like 3 sets of them. I was not even able to use them for one shoot. So we will be using this one today. Now, here is why props are so important. If I just put these 3 tubes right here, let's say like that, if I just put those 3 tubes over there and take an image, you will see it makes for a very, very boring image. And we do not want boring images. We want to have some props to, support that product to make it stand out. Now let's style the first photo. For the first photo, I will be using this arch prop. I angle it at 45 degrees, and my light behind it, it is all the way on the left side. So when I look through this arch, I will see the red background, but the light, it will be in the left corner, kind of just putting a glow over to the right side. It starts on the left and it illuminates it towards the right. Now my lip balms, I'll place one in front of the arch. Then I will place one kind of like in the middle, almost behind the arch. And then the last one I'll place way behind. And this is gonna create the first one to be into sharp focus, the second one will be more blurry, and the third one will be very blurry. Now I need to adjust my composition. I need to move back a little bit, something like that. And I will focus on the first tube. And that looks good to me. And then we'll take a shot. And that is looking great. There's enough room of the background so I can see the background between each one of them. They don't touch the edges of the arch. And the first one is in focus, and then they go blurry or they go the back. Great. Let's move into the second composition. Now for our second composition, I use the same arch, but I angle it a little bit the other way, about 30 degrees that way. And I place the tubes in the very top of it. Now my camera is very low, looking a little bit up at it. And what I did is I put the camera more to the right, so it's not looking straight on into the product. I'm just kind of looking at the angle at it. And I think that gives it a little bit better perspective. So now if we take a shot, we end up with something like this. Now, if you look carefully the highlights on the caps on this image, you will see that the light, even though I have a softbox, and it's a pretty big softbox, is still pretty harsh. So I want to soften those highlights. Now, if I use a 5-in-1 diffuser and I put it close between my softbox and the product, and I take a shot, then you will see the highlight on the very right product. It's a lot softer and nicer, but the other ones are still not looking so great. So what can we do? Well, what I will do is, I already took the shot with the first product looking great. What I will do now, I will take off the first product and I'll take another shot, and this diffuser is going to put a really nice highlight on the second product. And then I'll take the second product away and I will take another shot, and that should make the last one looking great. And then in Photoshop, I'll combine them, and this is what the image looks after I combine those 3 shots together. Now for our last composition, I will be using just one tube, and in order to make this tube not look boring, I will be using this prop. It's the same from the same set from Mad Props, and this is going to be a very easy shot. I'll pretty much just place it over there and put my product in the middle, something like that. Now these tubes, they don't really want to stay very well because the cap is a little bit rounded. I could use some blue tack, but I'll try to balance it. There you go. So that is my composition. My light is straight behind the product. And this one, I will not take in portrait orientation. I will go in landscape. And let's see. Let's see how we can frame this. I need to go lower. And I'll pretty much fill the frame with the prop, but I want to make sure my subject is smack in the middle, and that is looking great. It's straight. All right, and we'll take a shot. And this is what our shot looks like. So as you can see, only with 2 props, we were able to create 3 different images that looks pretty great for these tiny tubes that otherwise it will be, hard to photograph, and it would make quite a boring composition. I hope this was helpful and you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skyler Ewing. I'll see you in my next video.